everyone, welcome to the long-awaited tutorial. I'm going to be teaching you how to make an outfit in clo3d. My name is Amazino Wobiti, and let's get started. So when you first open clo3d, this is the first thing you're going to see, this basic setup. So there are several tools that we're going to be using here, and I work a lot with shortcuts, and I would advise you learn them too because you're going to speed up your work process. First thing you do, you open your avatar. There are different ones: female, kid, male. Making use of the female avatar. Then this is what we have. Click on the avatar. So this is the basic avatar, but if you want to change the avatar, there are other options. You come this way to the property editor, then you see skin style. You change skin style from to anyone that you want. As you can see, the avatar is now different. You can also make use of Naomi. If you've seen my other videos, you realize I make use of Naomi a lot because she is my favorite model on this app. So let's begin. So it's going to be a basic gown. So this is the 3D window editor, and this is the 2D window editor. You're going to make your outfits in the 2D and they appear on the 3D. For navigation, you press down on your left. You have to use a mouse that has like the right button, left button, and the middle scroll button. So you make use of the right button. When you press down on it, you can rotate. And the left. And when you press down on the left, you can use that to click on things. And then the middle button is to scroll in and scroll out, like zoom in and zoom out. Okay, I'm trying to make this a very fast and short video due to time, and I do not want it to be a heavy file size as well. So let's just get started. Okay, now when you come to this side, there are other options. This is to select, transform pattern. We also have the slash and spread, but I will just be making use of the ones. You can explore the app to see other options, but I wouldn't be selecting the ones I'm making use of. So this polygon, when you click on it, you can use it to, draft different shapes. Like I said, you can either press escape here, you can press escape to let it go. So you can see that it has appeared on this side. Then when you also click on this, you see you have a rectangle. So it depends on what you want to use. Although personally, I prefer using the polygon to just cut out the entire shape as opposed to using a rectangle. You can also use a rectangle as well. Anyone works for you. So I'm just going to delete this. I would not be making use of that. Yeah, to select multiple objects, when you click on this, you press shift, then click on this, then you can delete. So for the dress, you have to make the basic body block. Okay, so it's just going to be like this. Also, guys, when you are working, I would advise you have a reference. Having a reference makes things so much easier. So you have a rough idea of what you want to do. Most times, I usually like to do one part first, then I make a symmetric pattern on the other side. So when you press C is also a shortcut that can make you cut this in a bit, or you can come to this edit pattern. So there's edit pattern, transform, anything, and you can see here is edit collision. So anyone that works for you. So bring this down. And you don't need to have any prior knowledge in sewing for you to be able to do this. Also, yeah, when you press on Z allows you to make edits to your work. So this is what we have for this end. So when you click on this line, you left click on this line, then you right click to show you the options. You can see unfold, there is unfold pattern and unfold symmetric editing. I usually make use of unfold symmetric editing with sewing. So we have what is on this side is also on the other side now. And you can click on this and you copy it or just Ctrl C and V to paste. This is for the back. So guys, when you're making patterns, it's best if the back is a bit higher than the front. So when you come to your 3D pattern, you can rotate it. Move this, bring this to the back as well. Bring it as close to the body as possible. Then when making them, you can make the upper part. Make sure it's higher than the shoulder so it relates properly. Like I said, to click on more than one object, you press shift. When you click on it, so you can see this part is a light grey, then this is the darker grey. This is the face of the outfit, and this darker grey part is supposed to be facing inwards the other side. So to do the right click on it, either you press Ctrl G to flip it, or you can do this. I think there's an option here that says flip horizontally. Yeah, you can do this, flip horizontally. See, flip it back. So anyone knows. I usually just use the shortcut. That's how it works. Faster. So there are different options. You can either decide to draft out your pattern completely before you start sewing, or you can start sewing. But for the purpose of this video, I will start sewing immediately. So the shortcut to sew is when you press N, you can sew from one end to another. This is what the copy with symmetric pattern does. You see when I sew just one part, the other part sews directly as well. But let me show you where you can also find the sewing tool. The sewing tool can be found on this side. You see this is edit sewing. I'll make use of the edit sewing just to let you know how to use it during the video. This segment sewing, I make use of segment sewing. Segment sewing is to sew from one part to the other part. Then this is free sewing. There's free sewing, there's M and N free sewing. So either of them. Let me make use of. I'll make use of most of this so you get familiarized with it. But this is a beginner's video, so I'll try not to use anything that is complicated. So let's stick to using the basic one. So we have this, and when you press your spacebar, you can either press your spacebar or you come this way and you press this to simulate. Just use normal default. So let me go back to before it simulated and let me simulate it again. So you press this, then you see it simulates perfectly. So at this point, if you were making a crop top, you already have a basic crop top. Yeah. So now let's make the down part. Down part of it. I could either make it up and a skirt, but like I said earlier, I wanted to make a gown, and I'm going to stick to that. It is going to be a gown. So now for the down part, let's come this way. Click on our trying to custom. Like I said, to make it symmetric, just stop somewhere in the middle. I want it to be a short dress. A very oh yeah, and if you want to go back, you can just press escape and it goes. But if you already completed it and you made a mistake, you double click to close it. And you can just press Ctrl Z, guys. You can just do that to go back. So like I said, when you press on Z to edit the pattern, or you come this way and click on edit pattern. So I want to bring this a bit lower. Yes, guys, that is what the reference photo I have here. That is what it looks like. This is a new design that I've not made before, and I'm making it right here in this video to let you know that we can figure this thing out together. Most of this is just, you could say try and error. I'm going to make use of the rectangle now. So for this, the dress has a bit of a gather. At the start of this video, I'm going to make sure I add the finished product so you know where this is going. So it's going to have a bit of gather. That's what I want to do. And to have gather, you need a really large material. So something like this. I think this is fine. So you can press A. A highlights everything and click on this. When you double click on this center, click on it twice. So you can increase the size at once, like it increases it evenly all around. Or I could just do this both sides. I think this is fine. This is fine. So right now I'm going to make use of the M and N sewing just to let you know how that works. So when you come to this place, click on this M&N free sewing. So click on this part. Make sure you click on all the parts that you want to sew it to. Then you see press enter to complete M sewing. Press enter, and now you can now begin your end sewing. Click on this end, click it to this end, and you press enter when you are done. So you see I was able to make multiple sewings. That is what the M&N sewing does. I was able to make multiple sewing. Now let us see how it simulates now. So I'm going to press my space bar. So you can see that simulated properly. Also, I did not sew this end to this end simply because I wanted to show you guys something. Okay, now to sew both ends to both ends. Now, when you are sewing, ensure that you sew where you click on this side, the same side you click on this side. Let me explain this. Now, when you click on this side, if I come and I click on this, you can see that the sewing is crossed. Now, I'm going to simulate it for you so you see what a cross sewing looks like and how it's going to look like. This is it's scattered like this. So, in case you are sewing something and you are having this issue, it's most likely that your sewing was wrong. Now, I'm going to make use of the edit sewing. This is what the edit sewing does. So click on this edit sewing. So you can click on this where the sewing is. Either you delete it or you right click on it and click reverse sewing. So you see now it's sewn correctly. If I simulate it now, you see it simulates better. It has fixed the issue. So like I said, do you see what this front side looks like? You see the front side is a bit longer than the back. That's because the front of the dress I made it longer with this big part. So we did not do the same for the back. So let's do the same for the back. If this is the style you are going for, it's actually fine. You can leave it like this, but I'd rather the front and the back is the same size. So you can just come here, press Z, click on this and drag it down. Try to make sure it's on the same line. Ideally I would advise you do this when something is on the same line, you get like a purple line. Yes, that shows that they are both even. So I can simulate this now. Yes, see now we have the same on both sides. I think this is so much better. Yeah, this is so much better. And now I'm going to press my space bar once again to stop simulating this race. I would have ended the video here, but I'm just going to let you guys know how to make a sleeve as well. Like I said, this is a basic video, which is not supposed to be really done. But I believe some people would want to make sleeves later on, and I'm just going to show you one of the easiest methods on how to create a sleeve. So let's come here. Let's make use of polygon. So you come to this place. This is how I make mine. You draft it like this. Okay, sorry. Let's do this again. I'm supposed to do just one side. It's fine. Also, if you want a perfectly straight line, you can press down on shift while you are walking, and it will give you a straight line. Let's escape. So now we have this, and you can click on this and make unfold with symmetric editing. Yes. So now when you click on this part, to add extra points, so add like an additional vertex, you can press X, and it will give you an additional vertex. Or you come to this place as well. Yeah, you know it was on edit pattern before. You come to this place, and you can choose add point split line, which is X, like I said. Then you can use this edit curvature. You can use this smooth curve. Let's use this. Let me show you something like this. Yeah, you see this. So it makes this part, can make this smoother. Let's delete that additional point that we made. Click insert, shift, click this, then we delete it. Then you can press C to curve this. Press C to curve this. So what I would actually advise, let me go back. Let me press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. So before you actually smoothen it, I would advise you finish what you are doing completely. Like you finish this side. This looks like, I'm just trying to say, so you still have your symmetry. So you can also use V as well. V creates an additional point. So when you curve this in like this, as opposed to C. Let me go back so you see what C does. So C just curves it in without creating an additional point. But if you use V, the option V, it will create an additional point for you. So after doing something like this, you think it's okay. Then we can now come and use the smooth curve. Unfortunately, the smooth curve doesn't have any shortcut, so I just have to come here and do it manually. So you see this, so something like this should something like this should be fine, actually. So the hand is a bit big. I think I made it too big, but we're just going to move on. We're just going to move on like that. So you can always adjust yours, make it smaller. So now we're going to sew the arm. Press. I'm looking for, okay, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So for this arm, we're also going to make use of the M and N free sewing. Also, when you are sewing, you can actually see what you are sewing on this part as well. You can see it here. You see what I'm clicking on this side, or when I'm on the 2D part, you can also see it on the 3D as well. So you can use that to check simultaneously to be sure if you're sewing the right parts together, because sometimes it does get a bit confusing. So you can either use the M and N, or you can use just M sewing. Anyone actually works. So let me do this. I'm going to use the M and N. Click this. So I also need to sew this back side together, this side. So now, do you see this? If I sold it to this side, I could see from the 3D part that I'm on the wrong side. So this is the right part because I can see where it's moving. So just press enter, and now you do this, and you press enter. Also, when you're simulating, I would advise that you bring what you're trying to simulate as close as possible to where you want it to be. There's also, when you press Shift F, it brings up options on the body for you to set it to. So for the sleeve, I prefer to use this part. It just automatically arranges it in for you. So when you press Shift F again, disappears. This part looks a bit twisted, like there's a wrong swing somewhere here. But let's simulate it to see how that looks. And I was right. Do you see this? This is bad. This side is okay, but this side is bad. Also, you saw the way when it's simulated, the way it drags down the entire dress. So you can actually, what you could do, you could actually freeze the entire outfit. So when you do the sleeves, the dress doesn't drag like this. So now let's go to B. Let's edit our sewing. Let's click on this and let's reverse sewing. Yeah, and you see it's correct. So before you simulate, always make sure that you check your lines to see that they are okay. And at the end of the day, if you make a mistake, you can always press Ctrl Z. So now we're going to simulate again. But before we simulate, we're going to freeze the parts that were not simulated, so it doesn't move or drag. Because it might be okay for the sleeve, but there are times where you have like larger garments and you'd actually want the outfit to stay still. So you can just come here, click on this upper part. You can leave the down part because it's not really affecting the down part. Right click on it and you see different options. There's freeze, there's strengthen and simplify. What we want is freeze. So we've frozen it, and now when I simulate, you see that it simulates perfectly without any issue. Then we did not sew this under part, so I'm just going to quickly do that now with just a simple N here to here, and that's it. So it's the same. The hand does seem a little too big for me, like I said. So I would like to reduce it. So now I'm going to teach you another method of what to do. Let me stop simulating. So when you click on set, so we click on this, now you click on this. Now when you right click on it, you can actually reduce the size of it evenly. So offset pattern outline. So you see there is extend and there's retract. Extend is going to make it bigger, retract is going to make it smaller. So what we need to do, we need to retract. So let's say I want it to retract by 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters, you can see it on this, and still it's small. So let me say by 4. Yeah, I think 4 should be okay. Let me use 4.5. Yes, 4.5 is okay. So now let's do this again. Yeah. Let me unfreeze this on this. Okay. So sometimes when you freeze certain parts, it dries. Like I said, those parts are stuck, so you can't really move. So when things like that happens, you make sure that you check that there's no part that is frozen, and you can literally just drag it out. But if that does not work, you reduce the particle distance. I'm going to show you how to reduce particle distance later on. Particle distance is usually something I like to do when I'm close to the end of my work, because it's something that it slows down the system, because particle distance, like, it's more like you're adding more vertices, you're making the mesh denser. So it's best to work with a low particle distance, and when you are done, for the best result, to use a higher particle distance. So now this part, I don't like how this part looks, so I'm going to make it a bit smaller. So let me just move this in just a tiny bit. Move this in a tiny bit as well. Yes, I think this is much better. I want to add like a flare to it. So I'm going to take this part off. Okay, I can actually delete this. I can actually delete this midpoint because I don't need it anymore. So now let me just push it. Yes, that's okay. I think just a little bit more. Okay, this is fine. And to add the flare, no, this is not fine. Now that I simulated it, it's still too long. Yeah, something like this. Okay, yeah, this is fine. So to add the flare, it's the same logic as adding the skirt. You just create something bigger. That's all. So make use of a rectangle. I always like to use rectangles when it's not anything serious, or something basic like this. Yeah, this is fine. So for something like this, you don't need M and N, just basic N will do. So just carry this, move it this way. Let me use shift F. Let me see if there's anything I can do for it. Okay, yes, this should work. Should work for it. So let's do this. It's simulating poorly. There's something wrong somewhere. So sometimes you just have to drag it out. Yeah. When you're certain that the sewing that you did is correct, you just drag it out. Sometimes the system needs a little bit of help. So you just drag it out. Yeah, and I also both ends. So we have this. At any point, if you still feel like, oh, you need this to go up more. Also, you can see that it keeps going into the dress. This happens for several reasons. Either it's too tight, or you just need to increase the particle. You just need to increase the size. You just need to increase the particle distance. Now, let me show you something. If I increase the particle distance, this problem should be solved. So you click on the part that you want to increase particle distance. Come down this way. See, the particle distance is on 20. Let me reduce it to something like 10 on simulate. See, it simulates way better. So it's just obvious that particle distance was too small. Alright, and now let's do for the other side. This actually look to just have just one side, but for this video we're going to do both. Okay, so you can click on this, shift click on this, right click on it. We do the same thing, but we could just do symmetric pattern with sewing. This is so much better because it's just going to take it to, I like to place on this other side, like arrange my work so I know where it works. So this see what this does. So you just do one side and you have the other side. And this is it. You have made your very first outfit. Congratulations. Yay. So this is a very simple outfit. Now for this lower part, now let me show you what strengthening does. Click on everything. Let's click on it. And let's use strengthen. Now let's click on this. Now do you see this? Do you see how it makes everything look puffy, like gives it strength literally. So for something like this, I feel like I don't want this part to be puffy as well. I don't like how that looks. So I'm just going to strengthen it. Yeah, I think I want it to be softer. At the end of the day, just personal preference really. So after strengthening it, if I remove the strength, don't worry, this color will not show up in your final render. If I remove this, if I remove this, um, if I strengthen this, you see everything goes back to normal, like falls back. But if I want it to stay that way, I want it to stay the way it was, then I can use something called use solidify. So after I solidify it, by the time I take out the strengthen option. Okay, sorry, I did not solidify it. Do that again. Strengthen. Okay. I said I don't want to add this. Okay, I'll just leave it up later. So strengthen, and now let me solidify this look. Just check it. Okay, it's correct. So now let me on strengthen. Yeah, this thing, even in simulation, it stays the same way even though I've taken off the strengthen. So most times people use this technique to fold clothes and do other designs that they want to remain stiff even after they've taken out the strengthen option. Like I said, this color is just to let you know that, like, they use different colors for things so that you just know that there is something that is on it. And I'm strengthening it at the end of the video. So now how to add texture to this fabric. You can come here, let me show you how to change the colors. You see there are different colors here. This is just how you get different colors. But I like the white, so we're going to stick with the white. and close. And this place here, you can see texture. So you just come here, you go to the textures that you have, and you add it in, and the texture is in. So it's great. So now we can strengthen this back up. Stop simulating and strengthen. So clo3d has a default render settings. When you click on this, click this start interactive render. So this is what it looks like. This will be the final rendered result. If you do not want to take it to other software like Blender or Unreal Engine, you could be okay with this. So you can come to this. You can change the weight, the pixels, portrait, all of this image size. You can do this. The way you adjust it here, it's also adjusting this part as well. So if you are okay with this, you can render it out. There's something called, so you can stop this, and we have the final render. This final render clears out everything. So sometimes it takes a while, and the speed depends on your laptop actually. It depends on the type of laptop that you're using. So image or video has been saved. Open a folder. And render this out. Now when you come to this settings, these are the camera settings. So okay, yeah, this is the render. This is default render settings. You can change all of this. Set light to medium, high, high. I'm just showing you how to use this, but you can definitely change engine to GPU if you have a graphics card. But you can definitely render out in Blender, and that is what I'm going to do. So save, you can select your file name where you want it to be saved. Make sure you wait for it to clear out. For it to clear out completely. If you notice the pixel is no longer as pixelated as it was, make sure it clears out. You can decide to wait for the 20 minutes render time. And that's all you need to know about this. So let me just say I want to save it. Let me save it in my downloads under my fabric. Look one. You can also take a picture. This when it's cleared out, you can take this a snapshot. Let me take it back to this place as well. So now I'm going to show you how to export. Let me stop this. Now I'm going to show you how to export and take it to Blender. So you just come to this place, file, export as OBJ. Go to where you want it to be saved to. Save it under the same fabric. This one. Okay, also before you do this, I'll advise you fix your UV settings. So to fix your UVs, come to this place, under simulation, come here. Yes, click on this UV editor. So you right click on it, reset to this, and you click on this packing. It arranges everything. So this is arranged now. So when this is arranged, it applies properly in Blender. It's just good practice to always make sure that your UVs are correct. So now you export this one. So you can do select all with patterns and avatar as well. Click on world, click on tick. Yeah, meter is correct because it has, make sure it's on 100%. Yeah, and you can save this. Sometimes I usually export my avatar alone, then come back and export my outfit. But for this video, let's just export both of them at the same time. So that is done. But thank you all so much. Like I said, this is just a basic tutorial. There is so much more that can be done. There is so much more that can be learned. Thank you. If you guys want more tutorials, more videos, kindly let me know and I'll make more depending on how you respond to this video. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful day. Bye.